She likes her martinis. And she likes to play doctor. It takes you 10 weeks to make crap. It takes me 5 days. Oh, well. Little girls, everywhere I turn, I can see them. That's from Annie, where I played Miss Hannigan.
Little girls, everywhere I turn.
We did an extra song that was never in the original, where Albert Finney and I meet, and Hannigan and Daddy Warbucks, and we sing a song called Sign. And you know, in the original, Warbucks and Hannigan never met. And so I remember Albert Finney and I went to the director, John Huston, and said, we really think that the two adversaries, they should meet and have a song. I got one of my special material writers from my old variety show, Artie Malvin, to come up with a song, and it's called Sign, and it's where Daddy Warbucks wants Hannigan to sign a thing to release Annie to his custody for a week or so. And it was a great song to sing, and we had a lot of fun doing it. It's not in the original Broadway show. It's only in this movie.
Sign.
I make a very dry martini.
Right here.
I make a very wet souffle.
I really had a good time doing it. Wonderful cast, the beloved Albert Finney and Anne Reinking, and of course, Eileen Quinn, who right now is a grown-up lady and adorable, just as cute as ever. Am I in Spain? I'm not in Spain, dear. I'm in agony. That's where I think you've got me. Am I going to be astonished? Am I in Spain? I'm not in Spain, dear. I'm in agony. That's where I am. I can't remember what that is. Oh, yeah. You know why I wasn't thinking of the Cockney thing? Am I in Spain, dear? I'm not in Spain, dear. I'm in agony. That's where I got it.
Am I in Spain? No, I'm not in Spain, dear. I'm in agony. That's where I am.
I remember I didn't think I was cast right in that. So that's probably why I blocked it out. I had an American accent, and I had to try to put on a Cockney accent when actually it was in England, London, that they did it, and Maggie Smith should have played the role. So there. Oh dear. I practically had to get down on my hands and knees tonight to beg you to play a simple little parlor game of sorry, just so I could have some fun with this impossible old woman. Well, that's from my show. And that's Eunice talking to Ed and Mama. Ed played by Harvey Korman and Mama played by Vicki Lawrence. And that's Eunice. Yeah.
I practically had to get down on my hands and knees tonight to beg you to play a simple little parlor game of sorry, just so I can have some fun with this impossible old woman.
I never knew it was going to take off the way it did. Originally, the writers wrote it without those accents. And when I read it, because my background is Texas and Arkansas, I just felt like that's the way we should talk. And I remember the writers, when we did the run-through the first time, we had the sketch, and you know, we come out talking like this. They were upset. They said, we're going to alienate the entire South. But it worked. It caught on. And after that, the writers were fine with it. So we did about something like 35 of those. You look up dysfunction in the dictionary, and there would be a picture of Eunice and Ed and Mama as a dysfunctional family. I never felt that we were, I don't know, doing something different, because I came from theater, and then I came from way back the Gary Moore variety show, where I was a second banana on that show. And so I just learned about sketches and playing and doing variety from being on the Gary Moore show. So it was just a natural thing that happened when I got my show. It was a very easy transition. So I never thought we were, paving the way for anybody else. I never felt that. When I got my variety show, the head of CBS, William Paley, said, okay, I'm the businessman, you guys are the artists. You do what you do, and I'll stay out of your way. So we never had a table read, which they call, with all the writers and then the sponsors and the network. Never. Nobody ever bothered us. So I'm very proud of that. The fact that we ran 11 years. And actually, I called it quits because they did want us back for a 12th year. But I thought we had done just about everything we could do. And we had started to repeat ourselves in sketches or something. And I said, I want to leave before the network starts flicking the lights on and off and saying goodbye. Don't do this anymore. I wanted to say goodbye. Thank you. The honeymoon's over. It's time to get married. That was Tillie talking to Pete. Tillie I played, and Walter Matthau was Pete, and it was a movie called Pete and Tillie.
The honeymoon's over. It's time to get married.
He was great. He was a little bit intimidating at first. I remember, I guess I can tell this story. He said, okay, I'm going to take you to lunch. I was kind of nervous because he's big screen and I was little screen. He said, so how come you do all this television crap? And I went, whoa. All of a sudden, I got nerve. I got my nerve. I wasn't nervous anymore. I said, well, Walter, and he said, yeah, you can call me Walter. I said, he was doing movies all the time at that point. How many movies do you do a year? He said, well, at least 2.5 movies, I said, how long does it take you to make them? Like 10 weeks, 12 weeks? He said, yeah, about 10, 12 weeks. I said, are they all great or some of them kind of crappy? He said, no, some of them are kind of crappy. I said, well, look at it this way. Takes you 10 weeks to make crap. It takes me 5 days. He laughed, and then we were on an even level. He did that on purpose to loosen me up. So that's the kind of guy he was. I worked with him 3 or 4 times, and I just adored him. This one. Is this the fun part? Are we having fun yet? Well, that was the Four Seasons with Alan Alda, who not only was starred in it, but directed it, produced it, and wrote it.
Is this the fun part? Are we having fun yet?
We had a great cast with Rita Moreno, and of course Alan and Sandy Dennis and Bess Armstrong and Len Cariou. It was just a lot of fun. I learned to cross-country ski at one point. We had a good time. One bag of ketchup, now ring me up. Yeah. Carol and Company, and it was a housewife who was going crazy because of being in this grocery store. That I remember, yeah.
One bag of ketchup, now ring me up.
That was where I was talking to Terry Kaiser. It was in a grocery store and he was a clerk. And there was some kind of a limit on how many pieces of grocery or whatever that I had. And so I took the tomatoes, and I think I put them in a plastic bag and hid them back and made ketchup out of it and said, now ring me up. We had auditions, and I was, there when people came in. Terry Kaiser and Richard Kind, Megan Fay, Peter Krause, Anita Barone. Yeah, very good cast. Very versatile. We did an original script every week, so it was kind of tantamount like doing a pilot every week with all different characters and different stories. It was quite challenging. I always say you never really get to know a person until they put their clothes on. Is she looking at somebody naked? You got me there. I don't remember that line. It's 100 years ago.
Well, I always say you never really get to know a person until they put their clothes on.
Oh, shake me another martini and then let's play doctor. That's from Palm Royale. That's where I play Norma Delacorte, and I'm talking to Robert, who played by Ricky Martin. She likes her martinis, and she likes to play doctor. Shake me another martini, and then let's play doctor. I loved working with her. I don't use this term lightly. She's a genius. She's a genius. The director and producer called me and said, we have this part we'd love you to do in this television series for Apple TV. And I said, who's in it? You know, Kristen Wiig, Allison Janney, Laura Dern, Ricky Martin, Leslie Bibb, Julia Duffy, on and on and on and on. And I said, I don't care what it's about or what you want me to do, I'm in, because I want to work with those people. So, turned out okay.